Vassar Market, Upper Missouri Artist Gallery, from members at large, and the City Planning Division, and that's the phone number that we gave you, and that's on
in the
fourth.
City County building.
Yeah,
They're
it's on the
open
fourth
Monday through
floor.
Friday.
Yeah,
But now, could you maybe run down the artists that individuals would be able to see in their studios?
Oh, you know, we talked about them and showed you some pictures, but we have, for instance, downtown, we have Bonnie Lambert, she does jewelry, Ken Saunders, jewelry. We have Upper Missouri Artist Gallery, which is a whole slew of wonderful paintings primarily, and that's also a ticket outlet. Signs Now, which is graphic design, the Holter Museum, and they have some wonderful, a wonderful shop and great shows right now, and the Printmaking Guild is there too, will be there. Al Swanson and the Dowling Stanholm Architecture.
And that's in the downtown.
Downtown, actually.
And then the central area, we have Sandy Schull, who does glass beads, and she's associated with Birds and Beasley's. Tim Holmes, who is a sculptor. He's also a painter, and he'll probably have some of that on display. Dave Carlson is a woodworker. George McCauley, pottery. Andrea Atwood is a fabric artist and oil painting. She paints faces of animals on leaves.
Giant leaves,
which
is
is
a type of tree that she collects, and they're just fantastic.
And it's very delicate. I always look at that and think, how could anyone do that? They're very beautiful.
She told me the story of how she decided to do that. She was walking around town one time and saw these huge leaves and said, "What can I do with this?" You know, turned it into the support.
An artist is always looking for materials and
yeah,
inspiration.
You know, the inspiration it hits you as you.
And do you want to talk about the people on the east side of town?
Okay, Clay Arts Guild and Linda Parker Quilts. And actually, Linda Parker, we have one of her quilts. It's going to be on the cover of our little map brochure that we're giving out.
And I did want to say the Clay Arts Guild, they have a lot of artists. I went when they opened up their new studios when they did the remodel, and it's really amazing. There's all kinds of different things going on, so that's really fun. And then in the south, we have Bob and Judy Bennett, who are the gourd artists, and we did have an example of their work, and you'll see it's very different. It's very interesting.
Okay. So one thing Helena has is a lot of wonderful artists, don't we? And it's really fun to see their art, and the opportunity to be in their studios. This is probably the first time for many of them, and outside this event, you probably don't get in, do you?
I did want to mention Eric Van Imeren, too, who's functional pottery, ceramic artist, and then Robin Maynard, who's done the donation. She also does jewelry.
Oh, that's great. Well, now, unfortunately, we're drawn to a close on the show already. So, Carol, what are some of the final thoughts you'd like our viewers to remember about the Helena Public Art Committee and the Artist Studio Tour?
Well, as an art committee, we think of our mandate is to present to the public. You know, we're wonderful art. Artists are part of our, you know, our treasure. You know, it's part of what's going on in the city, and it's a wonderful part of our culture. And I would like people to support the arts, and especially go to the open studios. I think it's fun, it's educational, bring your children, and it might kind of open you up. One thing that we've discussed is that a lot of times people don't realize how things are done or how hard artists work. So I think this might give you a little clue about what's going on.
It
Peek
gives
behind
you
the curtain.
an appreciation for what the artist does. And it's just a rare opportunity to get into these studios and watch the artists at work and meet the artists. Helena has an amazing number of artists that for a town this size, it's really quite exceptional.
Yeah,
Well,
because of the area, I think it's very inspiring. And you'll find that some artists work in their kitchens, and some have
Like me.
very elaborate studios.
I work in my kitchen.
So you can see what's going on, you know, behind the curtains.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. We really appreciate it, and all your volunteering to make art happen here in Helena.
Thank you for having us, Brian.
Yeah. Oh, and I would like to say thank you to Kathy Macefield because she gets everything organized.
She,
for
we
us.
couldn't do it without her. She
Yeah.
organizes
Takes all the
us.
calls. So.
Thank you.
Okay, so for our viewers, please remember that the Artist Studio Tour is September 11th. It's from 10 o'clock to 4 p.m. over 20 different locations around the state. Hope to see you there. For Community Post, I'm Brian Lamour. Thank you for joining us.